Hey guys, Todd here from Great Escape Farms. I am with you with doing another West Virginia homestead update. This is April 2017, and what you see right down here is a trench that the dang groundhog's been trying to get back under again. Guessing he's wanting to breed. So far he has not got in, but he's been trenching all the way around. Back here, I actually did, last time I was up, I added some more chicken wire up front here. Reason being is this area right here would be big enough for him to get through. I don't know if he got through. If he did, he was out when I put this up because it's been a couple weeks since this has been up, and that's just setting on the surface here to keep him out. And underneath here, he can't get under because there's chicken wire underneath. So far it's keeping him out. Eventually I initially only had the chicken wire back behind the lattice work up to this point. What I'm gonna have to do is take the lattice off and extend it up. But with him chewing the heck out of the lattice and tearing it all up, I'm not even gonna worry about that right now, because I'm gonna have to replace some of the lattice in a couple different spots anyhow, there and right there. So that's it. That's all I'm gonna mess with today. I'll see what else I get into with this at a later date, but for right now, hopefully I don't keep him out. Let me move on to my next project. Okay guys, this is the next project right here. This is my gardening shed, as I'm calling it, and this is going to have all things garden in it, the push lawnmowers and stuff like that, but all my pots and shovels and trimmers and shears and stuff like that, hoses, any kind of irrigation system stuff is all going to be in here. And right now it's just a mess. I've been just dropping stuff off in here. So today I'm going to straighten all this stuff up. Okay, so this is what it looks like all cleaned up. I'm actually going to grab a screwdriver and take these cabinet doors off. I need shelving. I don't really need the doors in the front. A lot of stuff went in those. Put stuff up in the rafters. Got bird feeders up here on top. Don't need those right away. Straighten everything up. I had a mess of old pots and everything here, and they were all here. I need to clean up. I took a stack of 1 gallon pots. I'm going to clean those up, and then I'm going to actually transplant some elderberries and stuff. I'm a little bit late on doing that, so I'll show that later on in the video clip. And since I'm doing that, I have the hoses right there, so it's warm enough to actually take those out, and a couple other things I took out. So it looks much better in here. It's much more manageable. I can actually find stuff. So this is the way this will stay, hopefully, for the season. Okay, we're standing out in front of the winter propagation bed, and these actually went in the winter of 2015, so they're a year and a half old. But because they stayed in the sand for so long, they're not flourishing here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these out and put them in pots, and I will water them and take care of them this year, and these will go for sale next year. So I have another bed that has just wonderful elderberries and everything that really popped out, but these not so much. So I'm just going to go ahead and, like I say, pull these out, let them grow through the year and get them looking really good, and these will go out in the spring of 2018. Well, I got half of one bed done over here in this area. I ended up getting 2 different varieties of blueberry, a couple gumi. Let's see, I got some dappled willow and some butterfly bush out of there, and at that point I ran out of soil, so I have to deal with that later. And this right here is a potting table. So what I do is I dig up the plants from the bed, I put them in water, let them soak in there for a little while. I put that there. I have my soil in here, and I have my pots up here, and I label them right on the pots. And I just go ahead and use this and kind of assembly line approach here. And this is wonderful because I used to bend over and do this on the ground, and now it's actually, there's no bending at all, so my back feels much better than the way it used to, getting down on the ground and dealing with that. So I did a video on how to put this together, so that's on my YouTube channel if you want to check that out. And over here are the plants, and I've watered them as I was going on, so I had to turn water on to the whole system over here. I had winterized the garage and shut everything down, so ended up doing that. And it's, you can barely see it right here, but that's some old deer scat right there. Actually, you know what, that could actually be rabbit. as well. Either way, I've had stuff in here. I didn't think that deer would come in, although a rabbit probably would. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and close this in just to keep the animals out of this one. So I'll go ahead and put 2x4 fence here, and then I'll put chicken wire for the first couple feet around to keep rabbits out as well. So hopefully I'll be able to get to that this weekend. If not, I'll catch that next time around. Okay, this is my perennial sheet mulch bed. So I came through, I sheet mulched 3/4 of this garden last year, and I did a video on that. I think it was in May time of 2016. So you can check out to see what sheet mulch is all about there. I have a good video on that. So what I'm going to do today is take up some of this dead stuff right here so that it clears up the perennial stuff. You can see some of this is coming up through. That is a type of mint there. I should have probably done this in the winter before this stuff really started coming up, but I've just been too busy and didn't really have time. So that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna actually pull it up and remove it from here. I'm gonna put it in the forest garden, and I already have posted something on my forest garden, or my food forest I should say, or it will be posted in the next couple of days, so keep an eye out for that. Back here where the tarp is, this is the other quarter that I haven't got around to yet. I have the materials now. The reason I stopped is I ran out of materials. Believe it or not, cardboard is what I couldn't get. I had leaves, I had hay, I have an endless supply of horse manure, but I ran out of cardboard, which I needed to put down to block the weeds. So I now have that stored off. I just need the time to do it. So I will get to this in the next couple of weeks. And there's my dog that loves to eat comfrey, so I need to stop him from that. So anyhow, I'm going to clean this up and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Let me show you from this angle. Looks like a dead desert here, but it'll actually look a little flatter with just a little bit more green because I'll expose some. So I'm only about half done here, but I wanted to show you guys some asparagus. Most people aren't familiar with what that looks like. So when it's grown, it's actually very tall. You can see it right here. I've already torn a good bit of it out, but it's what, probably 5 foot high, and it has a very, very feathery, like fern look to it. But the part that you eat, called Asparagus Spears, are right here coming out of the ground. So you can see this one is coming out. There's another one right next to it. I have one right here coming out. Well, I saw a couple more out. There's another one right there coming out. So what they do is they clip it right at the ground, about an inch off of the ground to an inch under the ground. And there's another one in the back I just spotted. So when you're late getting this stuff out like I am, you got to be careful, because I probably trimmed a couple of those off while I was pulling last year's ferns out. So just wanted to point that out. A lot of people never saw them coming out of the ground or didn't really know how they grew. So that is what an asparagus spear looks like. Okay, we are all done here. So I pulled up all the old dead stuff and added that to the food forest. I also trimmed up the grapes and got only the leaders that I wanted growing on those. And I also added mulch to the paths here. So previously everything was all the mulch was the same color, and it made it difficult. I do get a lot of people coming and visiting and checking this out, as well as some of my other projects, and this way I can just say, hey, stay on the mulch path, and you can actually see what the mulch path is here. It's a little different now. So that's it for the garden area here. Now to move on, I'm gonna mulch around some of the pawpaws I put in last year. So I'll show you what I'm doing there. Okay, here's some pawpaw trees I put in last fall, and if you'll notice, they're just in bare dirt. I do have the fence around it to keep the deer off, but I want to put some mulch around it. So what I'm going to do is remove the fence here. That's easy. I just have 2 wires holding it on. Then I'm going to take some cardboard and wet the cardboard and lay the cardboard around the tree, and you can see an area where the dirt is. I'm going to leave that open, so I'm not going to put the cardboard right up to the tree itself. And then I'm going to take mulch here and I'm going to put it on, and then I will wet the mulch, make sure it's tapped down, make sure it's not all pushed up against the tree itself, and then I will go ahead and put the fence back on. And when I am done, it will look like this one right here. This is one that I've already done, and if you notice, it's somewhat square here. I used to do these round, and now I'm trying to do them as square as possible. For one, the cardboard is square, and when I'm mowing, it makes it much easier if it's square instead of round, because my lawnmowers don't have a good turn radius. So and as you can see, I have all up and down this row here, so This lets me do a straight shot, and then I just do a couple zigzags up this way on it, and it looks much better with the lawnmower there. Someday I'll have a food forest out here and have everything mulched. I won't have any damn grass to mow, but for right now I still have grass. So, well guys, I got about 20 trees done today, and I just ran out of steam and out of time. So it's about a little after 7 o'clock. I need to pack up here, and tomorrow is a work day, so this is it. So thank you very much for tuning in, and please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and check out our blog post on greatescapefarms.com. Thank you very much and have a great night.